I am going to ask at this point my good friend and co-board member, Cheryl Sensenbrenner, who is the board chair of AAPD. She's the wife of Congressman Jim Sensenbrenner. She's my favorite Republican. And Cheryl is really almost single-handedly, I think it's fair to say, leading the effort in Washington, D.C. To get co-sponsors for the ADA Restoration Act. And I'd like for her to bring everyone up to speed.
Yeah, we're going to do this together, Ted, though, aren't we?
Okay, you got it.
We're always bipartisan. And we should have Tony up here, too, I think. But what I thought we'd do for a moment while we're waiting is talk a little bit about what's going to be next. Ted, you were kind enough to talk about where we've been coming in the last 30 years. But let's talk about what hopefully we can get signed next year, get passed by both parts of the Congress and go on to have a president sign it. And that is the ADA restoration. Now, the thing about the ADA, we thought we'd made it. We thought we finally had what we needed. But without ADA restoration being passed, ADA will be an empty fulfillment for us. What is happening right now with the courts, as I see it, and I think, Ted, you'd agree with me on this, is that the courts are not understanding the definition of a disability. Right now, in particular, people that have type 1 diabetes, epilepsy, cancer, the intellectually challenged, are being proved, first of all, they have to prove they're disabled before they can go on and take their cases to court as far as employment discrimination. The original intent of the ADA, and again, you're a lawyer, Ted, you can tell me about this, as I understand, the original intent of Congress was to keep the definition broad of disabilities. And unlike other civil rights legislation that has passed for our country, we disabled have to prove we're disabled. Then we can talk about our civil rights. What's going on, I testified, I had the opportunity to testify before the Judiciary Committee a few weeks ago. As I explained to them, I have a sister that has Down syndrome. I myself have a spinal cord injury. My sister that has Down syndrome, with her hard work over the years, bought herself a car, paid for her insurance, drives around. She's a taxi cab for most of her friends. But because she is so high functioning with her Down syndrome, she might have problems proving, and it's been shown in some of the cases, that she really is disabled. I don't see Tara waking up tomorrow morning and finding that her chromosomes have been realigned. Because she's too high functioning, she is not protected with her civil rights and employment. That's crazy. She's disabled, but she's too high functioning. You know, I wear a leg brace. Or how about if I had epilepsy and I take my insulin? And it's working for the time being. My brace, you know, we're always trying to make it work. But because of that, am I really disabled? Is the person that's taking their insulin, doesn't that make them all better? They're not disabled, so why do they need protection of their civil rights? What kind of a message are we giving to the soldiers that are coming back from Iraq, from Afghanistan? You know, guys, why don't you just sit around in front of the TV? Don't worry, your civil rights will be protected because, boy, oh boy, you're disabled. No, but if you really try hard, if you really try, strive, continue to strive for your dreams, then maybe you'll be considered not disabled. And then you don't have your civil rights protected. This is a real catch-22 that we're facing right now. So as we try to explain to the congressmen and the senators, and hopefully that'll happen quickly and we can go on to the president, that we want to be like every other civil rights legislation. We don't have to prove that we're disabled. We want to just go forward. Now, Ted, I was going to go on to my story next, but I think that's excellent. The only time I'll ever let you do that, Ted.
We're very lucky to have Cheryl, aren't we? Thank you very much, Cheryl.